Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Bet Around. I'm your host, Paul Valley. With me, as just about always, is Zach Moore, or as you know him, Pigtown Sports. Zach, sorry, usually we talk a little bit before the show starts, but they forgot to get the reads to me for today's show, and they just got them to me like 2 minutes before we started. I had to put them all in the notes. So hopped on, so I had 16 seconds before I had to start the countdown, and so here we are. How we doing, man? How you been the last couple of weeks? We didn't talk last week at all, so.
Been going through it. You know, last weekend we had my brother's 50th birthday. We went to I think it was called the Yellowfin. Maybe it is in Edgewater or something like that.
Okay.
Very good. They got home. The stomach virus decided to go through the house for the week. So it's been fun. So we're getting through, and went to the Globetrotters game today at UMBC. That was entertaining. Me and my oldest, he's getting into basketball. He likes that. So we're fighting through everything, and we're having a good time. I got the WBC on behind us here, and we're gonna kind of keep an eye on that. I think we lost you. So, but yeah, I mean, getting into everything. I mean, obviously the WBC right now it's a big topic for everybody, and honestly, one of the big topics going on. And now that you're back, Paul, we'll talk about it real quick. There's been plenty of discussion about Team USA just looking flat and just almost like they don't even want to be there. What are your thoughts? Looks like you're still out. But yeah, I mean, there's been plenty of discussion on Twitter. You know, like some people are just saying like this team here just doesn't have a true like leader, so to say.
Well, and I was thinking about this, and I don't know why my mic keeps cutting out on me. And I know the fix, but every time I fix it, it goes out again. But I was thinking about this, but right before we came on, and I agree. It feels like there's something missing, and I think what's missing is Gunnar Henderson. No, I think what's missing is they almost feel entitled to be there. It almost feels like they feel like it's a foregone conclusion from the beginning that they were going to be in the championship, in the final, and they have arguably the best roster ever constructed, and then they go out and Italy punches them in the mouth. Then they go on, they score 5 runs really quickly the other night against, who was it against that they played? Was it Venezuela that they played the other day?
Mexico. Was it Mexico?
No, Italy played it 2 nights ago.
It was Venezuela, wasn't it?
Yeah. And they scored 5 runs early, and then then they almost gave it up. They ended up only winning that game by a couple of runs. The game the Gunnar had 4 hits. Was that the game the Gunnar had 4 hits in where they scored 5 runs? And they scored no, it was a different game. But there was a game that they scored 5 runs in the 3rd and 4th innings combined, and then they didn't do anything the rest of the game. They didn't put any other runs on the board. And you just kind of get this feeling that they kind of bought into their own hype a little bit. And then you get Bryce Harper's comments that we talk about here, and it's like,
nice play, Gunnar.
Do they think that? See, I'm watching on Fubo, so I get to watch it one more time because I missed it. I do see it in your background. You can see it in my mirror. So, am I that far behind?
Maybe.
Well, no, you might be.
Yeah, because this is a thing. So this isn't on live TV. It's a thing. So it might be a little behind.
Mine's not on live TV either. Mine's on Fubo, which is notoriously on a delay.
Yeah, so Machado's up right now, so I'm way behind then.
Oh, gotcha. But yeah, it just kind of feels like they feel like they deserve to be like they should be there, and they still have to get there. And this is a tough matchup against the Dominican Republic. And yeah, you got Skeens on the mound, but how long can Skeens go? How long will he realistically go?
I forget who it was the other day, and it was one team Dominican, and they asked him, it might have been Julio Rodriguez. They said, what's more important to you right now, winning the WBC or the World Series? And he was like, WBC without a question. And I was just like, God darn. I guarantee you that everybody in Venezuela, everybody in Dominican, everybody in Japan, they all have the exact same response, except for the U.S. And to us, and I think Murray over here said, the U.S. looks like they're playing exhibition baseball. To them, they still view it that way. I don't think they take it as serious as some of the other teams.
Well, and let's get right into Bryce Harper's comments. Obviously, the WBC has been great, but it's not the Olympics, right? It's no disrespect to the WBC or anything, but everybody knows that when the Olympics are on, everybody's watching. Doesn't matter what sport it is. It could be the most random sport, and it's got all the fans watching, Harper said. I'm hoping LA 28 happens. I'm hoping the next CBA agreement, something can happen where teams and players can come to an agreement on taking that 2 week break, especially it being, in our home country. It will be great for baseball. You talk about growing the game and being able to grow it at the highest level would help tremendously. Well, you
I
you
think
can
WBC is bigger
you can
for
grow it.
pure baseball. For pure baseball, I think it's bigger.
You
I
can
mean,
grow
just
it.
think about it. The Olympics is only what, like 6 teams that they're gonna. The U.S. has to win this game to even get invited, right? Or are they on auto bid?
Well, that I have no idea. I don't know about any of that. I know that I'm gonna ruin it for you, but Dominican just went up 1-0 on a solo
Yeah, I seen
shot.
Caminero hit a home run. I was watching your screen and my screen.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, you can see my screen in the mirror in my
Yeah,
office. But yeah, man, like if you don't get there, if you lose this game somehow and you're down 1-0 already, it's a really bad look. Harper's comments are a really bad look because you have an opportunity to grow the
yeah.
game right now with the WBC. Look at Team Italy. And look, I know that there's only like 3 players on Team Italy that are actually from Italy. I get that. But it's still been a huge thing over in that country. And they're not supposed to be there, and they're in the semifinals now.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what
and
happens when a
so
team plays together.
right, exactly. And so U.S. better pull themselves up by their bootstraps and get something going here. Harper's comments, and there's a lot of speculation that has something to do with the CBA and that he's trying to like negotiate through the media and everything like that. But man, a lot of people did not. I was reading this article on Yahoo, yeah, Yahoo Sports of all places. But former MLB Network researcher Matthew Searle said that kind of attitude will be Team USA's downfall. Other countries are treating the tournament with great seriousness and respect, and Bryce has the gall to say it doesn't compare to the Olympics. Don't denigrate the tournament you're currently playing in. It's a bad look. It's a bad look. And then Daniel Fox said, to use his words, this is a clown comment, bro. Regardless of whether you agree about having MLB players in the Olympics, downplaying the WBC in the middle of the tournament is really sad to hear from one of the game's greatest stars. And I
Yeah.
mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, you're talking about we're invested in it. All the fans are invested. Look at how hyped up these other teams are getting when they hit a big home run or they get a big victory. And
Yeah.
look at how hyped up Gunnar was.
Yeah.
In that 4 hit game when he slid in the second on that 2-run single, how fired up Gunnar was. And then he finds himself riding pine 2 of the next 3 games or 3 of the next 4 games. It's like, and that's another reason why Gunnar should be playing. Not just the fact that he's a top 10 player in the game today, far better at this point in his career than Alex Bregman is. But you need to infuse that kind of blood into the lineup. Somebody who wants to be there, who wants to bust his hump to win that game for the U.S. Like to
They don't have an
me,
Adam Jones or Joe
yeah,
Kelly on this team
there,
outside
there
of Gunnar
hasn't
Henderson.
there hasn't been that moment.
And we
Maybe
we
the
in- we as Baltimore fans know Gunner's not that guy either. Like he's a hype guy, but he's not like the leader kind of guy because we've seen it. He wasn't able to take that role on, which is fine because what he does as a hype guy is fine in my opinion. But
well, and
they had
and
nothing there.
I don't know, man. And see, somebody else said something to me that was kind of similar to that the other day about how Gunnar, doesn't come through with the clutch hits and the moments get too big for him. We saw him strike out as the go-ahead run in the game against Italy. We saw him. He also homered to get the scoring started late in the game for that team. But we saw him strike out with 2 guys on in the 9th inning, and somebody said to me, he just doesn't have that to him. And last year at the beginning of the year, I said something similar to that. And then I watched him hit like 400 with runners in scoring position the rest of the year. I
Yeah,
watched his at bats get longer and better every single game. And keep in mind,
they
the
grew
guy's
up a
only
little bit.
yeah, and he's only 24 years old. He's a
Yeah,
24-year-old superstar who is maybe just starting to realize, hey man, I am a superstar. And I would love to know his opinion, and you'll never get it. Probably only the people closest to Gunnar are getting his real opinion on DeRosa not playing him. But
yeah.
it's gotta be. I mean, for me, like if I come in and if I were to come into a game and I'm that fired up, and then I see I'm not on, or I get 4 hits in a game, and then the next day I'm on the bench. like, I'd be pissed. I
Yeah.
would be pissed. And no, Gunner's not going to say something to DeRosa. He's not going to make a big deal about it in the clubhouse. He's not going to pout, bitch, and moan about it. But he's probably saying something to the people closest to him, like, dude, I might not do this again. Like, and why, like, I get wanting to play for your team, but I heard Steve Molesky talking about it the other day. Gunner playing now just his third game of the tournament. He's missing valuable time to get ready for the season. What good is it doing Gunner to be sitting on the bench for Team USA? You can be as patriotic as you want, but now you could be putting yourself behind the 8 ball early in the season because you've been away not playing for Team USA.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that. And, he's missed at bats with his teammates in Sarasota, too. But, I mean, he's getting his work in. He's the kind of guy like that. He's not going to miss. Obviously, the live game reps are nice, but he's not going to miss too much. I mean, he's going to take every day 150%. But he's in now, so hopefully he makes do with it. I mean, we're all excited. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of us with bookmarks out there. If Gunner fails tonight, we're all going to hear about it.
Well, I mean, he did come up with runners on first and second and 2 down in the first and grounded out to second base. Yeah, never mind that the game started with Bobby Witt and Bryce Harper both striking out.
Yeah. Harper looks terrible.
Yeah.
Well, he just looks lost, just doesn't care. But, I mean, look, his own GM said that he just wasn't that good anymore. So, I mean, maybe he knows something that we all don't.
Oh, man. That's a story for no, man. Well,
yeah, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, he basically called him out in the media and said that he's not a superstar. Like, he's just a good player.
Man, and I'm a Bryce Harper fan. Like, and I didn't used to be when he first came about. And maybe there's a little bit of that. I want Manny to be better because they were drafted the same year and came up and debuted in the same year. But man, Bryce Harper's that dude. Like, and I just remember that 3-run homer that he hit to put the Phillies on top to send them to the World Series a few years ago. That's such an iconic moment and a moment that people in Philadelphia are going to remember forever. And like, so I look at Bryce and I'm like, that dude is just a dude. But if he's not that dude anymore, he'd be getting called out by your GM. Maybe he doesn't care too much about the WBC. I still think Bryce Harper is that dude until I see it for a full season.
Yeah.
But today's show is brought to you by Help My Gambling Problem. If you or a loved one has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit helpmygamblingproblem.org for free confidential services. Today's show also brought to you by Warnken Law. If you missed any of Stan and Fan Charles' coverage from Orioles spring training in Sarasota, you can find it all at PressBoxOnline.com. Stan's coverage is brought to you by Warnken Law. When you need results in Baltimore, you don't play small ball. If you've been hurt in a crash, call 443-RESULTS or visit warnkenlaw.com. That's 443-RESULTS. Mark DeRosa, man, has shown to me to be a bit clueless to this point. First thinking that the
People
U.S.
wanted him to be the manager in Baltimore. Remember that?
Well, and I kind of made a joke, like, is he benching Gunnar because Baltimore didn't give him an interview to be their manager? But to not know that your team needs to win and get a little bit of help, even though they were 3-0, to not know that your team hasn't clinched the knockout round yet is absurd to me as a manager. And I kept hearing people say, if this was Buck Showalter or Bruce Bochy managing this team, there's no way they wouldn't have known that. And then for him to be like, oh no, I knew that we were 2-0, and I knew that we needed to have clinched scenarios. It's like, you weren't even 2-0, you were 3-0. So you don't even know what the hell you're saying. And then, and he's a bro. Mark DeRosa is such a bro. Like, you always talk about how guys can lift this much weight and like this guy's biceps are huge. Like, he's always talking about crap like that. And you know that he just has this bromance with who Alex Bregman was in 2018, 2019. And that Bregman's playing third base because Mark DeRosa loves him some Alex Bregman, despite the fact he ain't that dude anymore. He's a good player. He ain't Gunnar. I'm not trying to dwell too much on Gunnar. I just think that it's been very glaring how out of touch Mark DeRosa has been to this point at WBC. Do you think that this is costing him the potential of being a major league manager in the future?
Probably, yeah, for sure. I mean, Albert Pujols is putting on a show. I can tell you that. So I mean, plenty of people said that he was ready this year and was passed up. But I mean, he's putting on a show right now for Team Dominican. He's got a hell of a squad. They're playing hard for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's pushing all the right buttons, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But let's jump into the Orioles a little bit.
Yeah.
We don't talk too much.
Yeah, we're gonna get it right into them here. You wanted to talk a little bit about Adley.
Mm-hmm.
Adley hit his second spring home run the other day. He had a nice little line drive over the shortstop's head. And one of the things that you look for with Adley Rutschman, to see that he's going well, that he's going to get into a groove and be that guy that we saw the first 2.5 years of his career, is the ability to spray the ball over the shortstop's head on a pitch on the outer half. And he did that beautifully the other day. And the swing looked so good. And the swing looked better than the one he had on the home run. What are you seeing from Adley, and how important is Adley to this team to this team's success in 2026?
So from what I've seen so far, I went back on the Baseball Savant because they actually have some of the video on his hits, but he just seems like he's standing tall and he's just relaxed in the box, keeping the arms nice and tight to his body. He's not getting outside of it a little bit, not trying to throw the barrel out and around the zone and get long. He just seems like he's just up there just being Adley, using his hands again. I mean, that's when 23, when he was a hitter, you couldn't throw Adley anything because he would just literally just flick the wrist and just hit the ball wherever it's pitched. I don't know why he decided to change that or who decided to change that for him. But, I mean, if he's going to sit there and just look that confident in the box right now and just do that again, like, you could literally see Adley hitting 270 again, which, I mean, if Adley's hitting 270 and 15, 20 home runs, like, the Orioles are winning 90-plus games. I don't think there's a question about that.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing about Adley, we know it's in there. And I feel like his swing got a little long. We've seen a lot of those helicopter swings from Adley where it just looks so long and then a lot of weak contact from him. But you don't just go from being the best catcher in baseball, the best offensive catcher in baseball for 2.5 years to just suddenly falling off a cliff the way that he has. And he had the injury to both obliques at different points last year. He only hit 220 with 9 home runs last season. Not a good year for Adley last year, but we saw a glimpse of opening day. He hit the 2 long home runs. We saw it, after he came off the IL the first time, where it just kind of looked like he was kind of getting back to his form. But he's also not the only person that we saw regress over the last year and a half or so. I mean, Kowser's looked bad. Mountcastle's power is all but gone. Kowser strikes out 40% of the time. Like, the team lead for home runs was a 3-way tie between Gunnar, Westburg, and Holiday last year at 17.
Yeah.
How much of Adley's struggles were on the old regime and the old hitting coaches and their propensity, their love for launch angle?
Hopefully all of it, to be completely honest with you. Hey, they got fired for a reason, so, I mean, hopefully we can pin a lot of failures on them. But, I mean, it's still up to them to come out and do things. But sometimes it's just simplifying things in the box. And, if you get to a nice level where your hands are ready to rock and roll when that front foot hits, and you're just balanced and using your hands again, like, sometimes it's just going back to square one. And that's kind of what it looks like right now. But he may not hit a ton of home runs doing that, but he's going to get on base doing that. He's going to, prolong at bats and stuff. He's going to start fouling things off. He's going to be ready to hit, and he's just not going to look stupid as much. So that's I'll take that over hitting home runs all day, in my opinion, because you got enough guys to hit them. So I like him at leadoff, to be completely honest with you. I know a lot of people don't, and I've read some articles where you want Gunnar hitting 1 and Alonso hitting 2, and I don't have a problem with that. I mean, the Dodgers are successful with it with Ohtani, and some teams are, some teams aren't. I think Gunnar would be fine as a leadoff. Maybe you really don't have a spot to put Adley at that point. In my opinion, I think Adley would be a great leadoff because if he's getting back to his old ways where he's going to just stand in the box, be confident, flick his wrists. 1, he's going to get on base. 2, he's not fast, but he's not slow. But I think Adley's a smart base runner. And that's kind of something that's been overlooked in the last couple of years. Is just our guys just are, I don't even want to say this, but they've been playing stupid on the base path sometimes. It's been embarrassing to watch at times. But Adley has always been a pretty smart base runner. You put him at leadoff, put Dylan Beavers number 2, and then you have Gunnar and Alonso right after that. Like, that's a damn good start to the game right there. I mean, because you got a switch hitter leading off. You got a lefty, lefty, righty. So you basically have right, left, left, right. Like, you're not going to be able to match that up. I don't know. I mean, I completely understand if they don't. I think, but then he's probably hitting 5, 6, maybe 6, probably 6, maybe 7. They could go back in the 2-hole with him. There's a lot of different things you can do with him.
I'm of the mindset. I'm one of the guys who wants to see Gunnar and Alonso bat 1-2, right?
Yeah.
I don't think the Orioles are going to do that. I think that
I
they're
can
going
see it work, but I could also see it not working.
Well, and I think it's because of run production. Because then you have to look at, and somebody was talking to me about this today, and he was a little drunk at the time, but we were still having a decent conversation about it. And he was like, "Well, who do the Orioles have at the bottom of their order to turn it over for Gunnar and Alonso?" Like, yeah, the idea is all good. And well, how many games do you start up 2-0 with those guys batting first and second? But how many games do you have?
2 outs pretty quick too.
Right. 2 outs pretty quick. But I mean, that's the case with anybody. But also, like, how many games do you have in the situation where you need somebody to get on base? Where like your 8-9 guys are getting on base for Gunnar and Alonso in the middle of the game in a close ball game. How often is that happening?
Right. And that's probably going to be Cowser and Holiday.
Right. And their eyes have been are supposed to be really good and you know, but Cowser just not. He's not. I don't think Cowser takes enough pitches. That at bat that he had against the Dodgers in that walk off, where they were being no hit into the ninth inning, then Jackson hit the home run. That at bat that Cowser had where he took the walk to drive in another run was a great long at bat where he just spit on some pitches, but he doesn't do that too often. You know, and then Holiday. The eye got a lot better. It got back to kind of what he looked like in the minors coming up, you know, towards the end of the season. But how antsy is he going to be at the beginning of the year when he comes off of the IL to try and get going and get back up with his teammates and everything, you know? And I just don't know. But what I do think is going to end up happening is I think it's going to be Taylor Ward leading off with Rutschman hitting second, Gunnar third, Alonso fourth. To start the year. I think that's how and I think O'Neill's going to hit fifth. I don't know that, and yeah, Beavers did a nice job when he came up. I think nobody walked more than he did after he debuted last August. But I don't know if the Orioles feel like they have a prototypical leadoff hitter on their ball club right now. I don't know if they feel like they have that. And so who's done it a lot? Taylor Ward's done it a lot the last 2 years with the Angels. You know, and he does have a great eye, and he's got great pitch recognition, and his chase rate is in like the 99th percentile. So I can see them leading him off with Rutschman hitting second, and people are gonna have a lot of gripes about Rutschman batting second again. And there is an argument that he needs to earn that, but who knows what he's earned more than the people watching him every day down in Florida. You know, so look, if leading off is what's going to get Adley to get that elite eye back into his game, and you know, he already doesn't chase the first pitch. Like, you can get ahead really quickly on Adley because he does not swing at the first pitch. You know, but if he's going to get that elite eye back by batting leadoff, I don't hate the idea. I just don't know how likely it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me is batting leadoff. It was a 220 average as a team last year. Not very good. And when you kind of look at, like, even the extra base hits and all, not that great. OPS plus, not that great. They were one of the worst in baseball at a leadoff spot, and they weren't any better in the 9-hole. So, I mean, could Gunnar fix that? Yeah. I don't think anybody fixed the 9-hole for him, though. I mean, it's... They've struggled to find a 1 and 2 on this team for a while, so I think we probably see a bunch of different guys this year, kind of just like we have in years past too.
And I think you could be right. They're going to go with the hot hand. I think they have an idea who they want to do it to start the year. I'll tell you that if it's going to be Gunnar, it better be Alonso hitting too. I don't think you can separate those two guys in the lineup. I just don't think you can do it because I think that Alonso hitting behind Gunnar unlocks another level for Gunnar
Oh,
because
for
he's
sure.
gonna get
He
he's
has
gonna
to
get
be there.
right. And you can make the argument with it for Adley again batting leadoff that if he's batting leadoff and you've got maybe Ward hitting second, then Gunnar third, and Alonso fourth, then maybe that makes so much sense because it's going to unlock Adley again because
Yeah.
he's going to get pitches to hit because you don't want to put him on and have to go through the next three guys who can all hit 40 home runs in a season. You don't, and then Tyler O'Neill batting fifth. You don't want to do that. So
Right.
I did find it interesting that Tyler O'Neill was tearing the cover off the ball in spring training, went to the WBC and was awful, and then came back today and immediately had a two-run single in his first at bat back. But that's
It
just a little
happens.
a little side note there. But
I think it was a couple of years ago, Santander was hitting like, I forget the exact numbers, but at the time I looked at it, it was like well over 340. I think he had like 3 or 4 home runs. Like he was crushing it for Venezuela. And then he came back here, and it was his typical like March and April, and he was horrible.
mm-hmm.
But
oh,
they
I
were
re-
playing in Florida. Like
mm-hmm.
he's a warm weather guy.
Yeah. I mean, and I remember that too. I just found it interesting because we were so excited for Tyler O'Neill, and he had 7 hits and 16 at bats when he left for the WBC.
Yeah.
Then he goes down and you look at his stat line; he's 1 for 15, and you're just
Yeah.
sitting there and you're like, what the hell, man? Like, not that I
Yeah.
care what Canada did, but he did have a hit against Italy the other night.
I mean,
but,
think about it though. Like Canada probably has like zero protection around him. Like I can't
That's
think of another. There was one. I mean, Josh Naylor, but I think Naylor hit like 3 or 4, and Tyler still hit like 5 or 6. Like he had no protection behind him. Like
mhm.
Naylor, like yeah, Tyler can hit it out, so you probably have to attack him a little bit better. But like after Tyler, there was not a whole lot left in Team Canada.
Yeah, and I mean, and the fact that honestly, I was surprised that Canada was there to begin with.
They probably were too.
Yeah, I mean, like more surprised that they were there than Italy had some ball players
Yeah, they did.
on their squad. Like the only names that I recognized were Josh Naylor, Bo Naylor, and Tyler O'Neill for Team
Yeah.
Canada. I was very surprised that they were there. But if you missed anything from Glenn Clark Radio this week, including conversations with Trevor Rogers, James McCann, former Bengals assistant, and Maryland coach Mark Duffner talking Trey Hendrickson, and more, man, that was a mouthful. Find them in the Glenn Clark Radio Week in Review feature at PressBoxOnline.com. And as always, watch or listen to GCR every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. at PressBoxOnline.com/radio or right here on PressBox's Facebook and YouTube pages. Speaking of Trevor Rogers, to my surprise, he was named the Orioles opening day starter the other day. And it shouldn't have been to my surprise because he had a 1.81 ERA in 19 starts last year, was voted the most valuable Oriole. And when I say that Kyle Bradish, when I've said Kyle Bradish should be the Orioles opening day starter, it's not because I don't think that Trevor Rogers is deserving. I just believe that your opening day starter should be the best pitcher on your staff, and I think that's Kyle Bradish. That
Yeah.
said, Trevor Rogers 100% earned the right to be there, to be the opening day starter. Were you surprised by this? Did you take any issue with it, or are you cool with it?
We are blessed to have 2 guys that are good enough for us to even argue about that for. So, sorry. No, I didn't take any issue with it whatsoever. I mean, I thought I was the same as you. It should have probably been Bradish. He's been here longer. He's the guy you're going to hand the ball off into a playoff series, game 1. But maybe he's not. Maybe Trevor has that good of a freaking year where he's the guy. Again, it's a great problem to have, and I really don't think fans would have cared if either one of those guys were taking the ball. It's not like years past where it was like, yeah, we kind of have a guy that could probably pitch on opening day, but like we probably really don't want him to. But like, I guess we'll just give it to this guy. Maybe like outside of Corbin Burns, like they haven't really had anyone that you're like, yes, like this is my guy. Outside of Bradish and what was it, 23 or 24?
I don't think Bradish got it because it was
You never had one?
no, because
I thought he had one once.
Bradish came on the second half of 2022.
It's Kyle Gibson, that's right.
And then Kyle Gibson was the opening day starter in 23 when Bradish finished 4th in Cy Young voting later that year. And then it was Burns in 24. And then last year it was Eflin because of what he did after. I mean, Burns wasn't here anymore. And,
and Eflin's a guy you're just like, oh, I mean, yeah, I guess. Like, But no, we have 2 bona fide guys that could be almost every team in baseball's opening day guy.
And
I don't think it bothers anybody.
I mean, it's funny, man. You look back to it. It used to be guys like it was Chris Tillman for a few years, and
Yeah.
then it was John Means, and then when John Means got hurt, it was Tommy Malone to start 2020, and then it was Means in 2021. Was it Means in 2021, or did he start that year hurt too?
I can't remember that far back.
Yeah, but I think it was Means in 2021 because he started the year healthy through that famous no hitter that should have been a perfect game. Damn you, Pedro. And then it's been
Is it Judgy throwing somebody out? Okay. I was looking at him behind your head there, and I seen somebody running back. What happened?
It looks like Tatis may have gotten himself a hit and Judge threw him out on the base paths. Man, there's no replay on that. I'm interested. It'll play on
You'll
Euro.
have to watch it on mine now.
Yeah,
I think somebody made a diving catch because somebody went back from second all the way back to first.
Maybe that's what it was.
I have mine as like a bokeh, and it's so blurred back there. You can't see it.
It is super blurry. Man,
if I changed it all, it would screw everything up.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm sure they'll show a replay as soon as it comes back from break on mine. But yeah, look, you have Bradish, you have Trevor Rogers who are qualified to be your opening day starter, and then you look at what Eflin's done. He's made 2 Grapefruit League starts, 2 innings pitched, no runs, 3 strikeouts his first go round. Today they got rained out in the 3rd inning because the Tarp crew had such a hard time getting third base covered, and it became unplayable. But Eflin had 2 innings pitched, no runs, 4 strikeouts today. He looks damn good. This rotation is going to be really good this year.
Yeah.
I really believe this rotation is going to be a
surprise. And I honestly think they believe that their bullpen is going to be a surprise.
Well, and
I'm not sure if I agree with it. Maybe. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I agree that it's going to be better than we expect, but I still think we need to address it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, so Charm City Entertainment, my dude in MLB The Show 26. If MLB The Show 26 has shown me one thing, the Orioles have no bullpen. Not sure how we're going to get to Helsley.
Well, so their ratings are horrible for the Orioles. Like, they have Andrew Kittredge at a 77 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. The dude had a 184 in the second half, and you're going to put him at a 77? Like, what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean,
Bradfield's got like an 86 speed. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is why everybody trashes your video game.
That's crazy. I wonder which player from the game they took last year and turned him into Bradfield and just left the speed.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if Chandler Simpson's not a 99, like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm. And I look at the Orioles bullpen, and I'll tell you, I think that Jackson Kowar is a lock for the bullpen. I think Grant Wolfram is a lock for the bullpen. Tyler Wells is now your setup man, with Kittredge being hurt, and then you've got, and that's the thing. It's shoulder inflammation. Oh man, they just showed the play, and I missed it. Here's Gunnar.
Yeah.
I think that Kittredge is going to be okay. It's shoulder inflammation. That stuff crops up all the time in spring training. So I'm not too concerned about it, but it's going to give Tyler Wells a chance to have a spelled out role instead of being a kind of a Swiss Army knife out of the pen. He's going to have that defined role in the 8th inning to get to Helsley. Helsley's out of the splitter. He looks really good. You add a splitter to a guy who's throwing 100, it's like a mini Felix Bautista now with him. And then Cade Povich just got optioned today, by the way. So he has no chance of being the pennant. Norfolk's going to have a nasty rotation down there. They're going to have a very good rotation.
His age. Oh, he threw him out of 3rd. Okay. Obviously, I'm stupid because I'm looking behind me and I thought he was running backwards back to 1st.
That's funny.
That makes more sense.
So Dietrich Enns is going to be in this bullpen. Wolfram.
I don't like him at all. Can I say that publicly?
You can. I don't like him either. There's something about him.
Like, I don't care what he did last year at all. I just don't think that he has the stuff to do much. I could be completely wrong. I really hope that I am. I just see him as an easy guy to get rid of.
I think you're going to look up at the end of April and see him with a 5-something ERA. That's what I think you're going to see from Dietrich Enns. But
I didn't see it enough to even impress me last year. Even when he had like a pretty solid run, like just there was nothing to the ball that was just making me like, yeah.
He was he had a stretch where he had like 27 strikeouts in 19 innings. It was
Yeah.
something. It was something ridiculous. And it was
But
like
the ball didn't make you say wow at all. It was just like, how are they not hitting this guy? Like, it was great that it's happening, but like, how?
right. So you've got ends. You've got here comes a 3-2 pitch to Gunnar and fouled off. You've got ends. You've got Aiken, Wolfram, Kowar, Wells, Helsley. Who am I leaving out? Because that's only like 5 or 6 guys.
Cano.
Cano apparently he
I
said
don't
that
know if he's making the team.
he's going to make the team.
You think so? He's
I
got
think
two options.
I think he's going to make the team, and I think that he developed another pitch, and
Split finger.
yeah, and he was saying that he felt like that they discussed it, and people were honing in too much on a sinker. So adding that new pitch
Yeah.
now is kind of going to get people to like have to, you know, think about what he might be throwing. So be like, oh, he's coming sinker. Let's just wait for that and smash it. You know, Gunnar! Boom, baby!
That's why you play the guy.
Gunnar Henderson, baby! Ties
That's
the
why
game.
you play the guy.
That's
I'll
awesome.
see it here in about 3 minutes, and then I'll celebrate.
That's awesome. A 3-2 pitch right down the middle, and Gunnar absolutely smashed it. Right off the bat, man. I hope he goes in there and doesn't shake DeRosa's hand and just says, keep playing somebody else over me. Oh, my, 400 feet.
I don't think he's that kind of guy. I really don't.
He would never say that in a million years, but I kind of
No.
wish he would.
I wish he would too, because then I would know he's that kind of guy.
Oh my God.
I want to see that kind of fire out of him.
God, that was you get to watch it in real time, or not in real time, but you get to watch it. I mean that was an absolute bomb that Gunnar just hit. I'm so happy that I got to watch that live on the show and got to react to it for real. That was amazing. That was cool. Amazing. That's so cool. What the hell were we talking about? Gunnar going Gonzo.
Swing, man.
Oh, it's beautiful. And I think it just went back to back.
That was 94.
No, Soto ran that one down. He got it off just off.
Soto's better outfielder for the Dominican than he was for anybody else.
That ball, the swing and the flight of the ball with the guy who just
pretty.
God, that's beautiful. God, that's beautiful.
My wife just texted me, Gunnar homered.
You're like, yeah, Paul was screaming in my ear about it. Oh, that was awesome. That was so cool. Man, I love seeing that. I love seeing that. It was Will Smith was up next, and he hit it just down below the barrel. And the flight of the ball off the bat looked good, the swing looked good, but he just down on the barrel enough that it was run down.
If you guys are in either one of these streams right now, make sure you press the like button for us. It helps YouTube get it out. Just want to throw that out there.
For sure. Thank you
for
guys
being here though too.
Yeah, I hope you guys are doing what we're doing, tuning into the show and tuning into
I've read a couple comments. They have us on mute, but they're on the iPad while they're watching the game on TV. Which I would probably be doing myself too. I don't blame anybody for that.
Rico Garcia, you think Garcia to Wells to Helsley, as Thomas says?
If you keep Garcia, you don't have Cano.
You don't think so?
You don't have room for everybody. And you still got Geraldo. Geraldo's got statistically was the best changeup in baseball last year in the second half.
Wow. Okay. So, and I think that they really plan on Garcia being in their bullpen, and I think
Kowar, they have options finally.
Kowar has to be there. Like so, Wolfram doesn't have to be there.
Right.
And he's
going to be though. I think he's the best lefty they have.
I think he is too. Rico's not a lefty, is he?
No.
No, I didn't think so. So they've got Enns as a lefty, they've got Aiken as a lefty, and then Wolfram.
Do you cut Enns? You're only making $2 million.
I think he gets cut.
Cano.
Oh God, that's like, do you cut crap to keep shit? Like,
it's a good analogy.
We
didn't even talk about the sixth starter who's got to go to the bullpen either.
Well, and that's if they have to go to the bullpen. I don't think that Eflin breaks with the team. I think he stays
even
back.
If he doesn't, he's only missing 10 days.
Yeah. And I really think
10 days is only, 7 games or something like that, with all the days off?
For sure. I just really think they're going 6-man rotation. I don't think there's a starter that's going to the pen. You didn't bring in Like, who do you send there? Dean Kramer, a guy who's never done it really.
Yeah.
Chris Bassett, who has done it and did it well in the postseason
No,
last year,
he's
but
your
you
number
just
three
gave
starter
18 million.
apparently.
Right. You're not doing it with Shane Baz because his stuff is just nasty. It's not going to be Rogers or Bradish. Who do you justifiably move to that bullpen? It's not going to be Eflin either. You don't give a
Right.
guy a $25 million option for next year that you plan on having being in your bullpen. I really firmly believe when you look at who they have, and they have so many guys with options that are on the 40 man that can be in the bullpen, it's going to be a 6-man rotation. Not to
Well,
start
let
the
me ask you
year.
this, because I completely agree with you. If Eflin is pitching well and Kramer is pitching well and Baz obviously is pitching well, and everybody's pitching well at the break, is Eflin have the most trade value because he has next year's option, or Dean Kramer have the most value because he's got 2 more years control?
I think he's a free agent after 27.
Who is?
Kramer.
Dino?
I think he's.
No, he's in arbitration.
I'm pretty
I
sure
think this year it was his first year. I thought.
I'm pretty sure that Dean Kramer is arbitration eligible in 2028.
28.
Yeah.
So after 27. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's got all of this year, all of next year. So a year control. Same as basically Eflin, I guess.
In arbitration, because Eflin, if you're
Right,
picking
so
up that
he's
option, you're
technically
paying him
cheaper,
30 million.
so-
Yeah, you're
so
paying him almost 30.
He probably has more value, I would say, because of his price.
But
Kramer?
Oh, absolutely. But here's the thing, man. Is there any doubt in your mind that Dean Kramer is going to be? I'm not saying he's going to be bad, but is there any doubt that he's going to be the worst
Roman
starter in your
Anthony home run.
rotation? Did you see that on mine?
No, somebody put it in the chat.
Oh yeah, I looked up just to see it going over the fence.
Goes Gregory Soto. Shocker.
Oh man, just all these ex-Orioles all these Orioles getting involved tonight.
I was looking the other day. Because I did a video the other day about Cano. If you guys haven't watched that, go find it.
After the show, go find it.
Gregory Soto was so bad last year. Like, he was one of the worst relievers in baseball. He was worse than Cano, and his numbers didn't show it. It was bad.
There were times where it was like they would bring him into a game.
Still gas right now though.
There were times when they would bring him into a game, and he would like immediately walk like 2 or 3 guys.
Yes.
He'd give up a run.
It doesn't even look like he cared.
And then they take him out, and they would bring in Dominguez, who would then give up a 3-run homer. And you're sitting there like, what are you guys thinking, bringing these guys in back to back? There was that game against Boston, right after Hyde got fired, and I remember watching it, and it was close. Like, it was like a 5-3 ball game in like the 7th inning or something like that. Mullins was up with the bases loaded and 2 outs with an opportunity to give the Orioles the lead, or at least tie the game up, and he struck out. And then I left to go to the restaurant, and they had given up like 6 runs or something like that. And I got to the restaurant, and I looked up, and they were still batting in the 8th inning, and they had scored like 11 runs.
I think that was the Thiago Viaga, or what that was his name? Thiago Vieira Day or something like that, where he had like allowed 6 runs before recording it out.
No, that was that
day.
That was I thought that was 24. This was
all
all Soto and Dominguez. This was
wow.
100% Soto and Dominguez. It was in 2025 against the Red Sox, and the Orioles lost that game like 19-5. It was a
close game, and then it was Easter, wasn't it?
No, that was a game that they were never in. They lost that game to the Reds like 24-2 or something like that. That was Morton gave up 10 runs in the first 2 innings or something. Yeah. That was the most embarrassing game. But I mean, Soto and Dominguez but then there were other times where guys couldn't touch him. Yeah. Guys couldn't, Dominguez was an arm I really would have liked to have had back this year. Soto,
$8 million. I thought $8 million was fine.
Yeah, and then did you see
apparently he's closing, so that's good for him to be acquired at the deadline.
He's with the White Sox, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see Danny Coulomb.
They have pretty decent pitching coaches over there.
Yeah.
They're not great, but they're decent enough to get him to a point where they can probably get something pretty decent for him at the deadline.
They got Austin Hayes playing left field for them over there.
Yeah.
I would have loved Austin back as a 4th outfitter, assuming he knows that's his role. I would have liked him a lot better than than Leody Taveras, and I still maintain that Enrique Bradfield is going to take Taveras' place by June. But I don't know, man. Like I remember last year, remember last offseason, everybody talking about how good the Orioles bullpen was going to be, and I'm like, do you remember the same bullpen that I remember from the end of 24, and like how our buttholes all puckered every time Soto came into a game? Like, and now we're talking about him as like a legit setup guy, and the same thing with Dominguez. Like, I'm good, man. Like, I need better pitching. And speaking of better pitching, they didn't tender Coulomb last year, and then he went out and he was really really good for Texas, and then he got hurt. He just signed for 1 year, 1 million
1 million. It's
with the
crazy,
Boston Red Sox. You couldn't have done that, but again, and
anybody in baseball could have.
It seems like a conspiracy theory or like just a effed up thing to say, but I really think a lot of it has to do with Elias's ego. And like Elias would have to say, I made a mistake getting rid of Coulomb. I'm gonna bring him back. I just don't think that
I mean, at $1 million though, like what's wrong with him? Because there's plenty of guys out there, even his age, that are getting $8 to $10 million.
Yeah.
So what are people seeing on his medicals to say that I'll give you 1 million maybe just as a see if you're healthy kind of thing? Like what? That's odd to me. Like
he has been hurt a lot in his career.
Relievers don't get $1 million. You know what I mean? Like they get 2, 3, or 4. Like something's weird.
He has been hurt a lot in his career, and when he's healthy, he's been good, but he doesn't throw hard. He just does not throw hard. It is effective, but he just does not throw hard. So when you factor in the idea that he's 38, his fastball touches maybe 91 miles an hour, and he doesn't stay healthy, he was probably having a hard time. He was probably getting a lot of minor league offers, and maybe this was the only major league offer that he got. You know,
like Cano's making 1.6.
I mean, that's an arbitration. You know what I mean?
Right. But I mean, it just baffled my mind that like literally the Dodgers could have signed him for $2 million, and didn't. Like
any team.
What was wrong with him?
Maybe there is something wrong with him. I just think that it's a combination of things. I don't think it's any one thing. It's a combination of the age, the lack of velo, and the injury history. Charm Seed Entertainment. I was surprised to hear Pete Alonso say he was not asked to play for Team USA, and that really doesn't surprise me. I'm not surprised by that. I would have
asked him over Paul Goldschmidt, though.
For sure, would have asked him over Paul Goldschmidt, but it doesn't surprise me because he's not known as a great defender, and we also tend to value our players a lot more than other people do. And yeah, Alonso's gonna hit a ton of home runs for you. He's gonna be a good player. He's gonna be a solid player, but when you think of an elite player, do you really think of Pete Alonso?
As a hitter, maybe.
Yeah, and I don't know that his defense.
Like if you're taking pure hitting, I think he's better than Bryce.
At this point in his career,
yeah.
See, and I said I'm a Bryce guy. I'm a Bryce Harper guy. So I'm maybe he hits for more power at this point, but I don't think Pete Alonso is ever going to be
power, more home runs, and a better average last year.
Yeah. But Harper was hurt a lot last year, wasn't he?
That's another tick against him.
Yeah, that's true. Alonso posts up, and it's weird because I love Pete Alonso being on this team, and I think that he is like the perfect bat for the team to bring in. And in the next breath, I say, hey, he's not an elite talent. You know, there's just something that's just a little bit missing. I think it might be the defense. He just seems like this big, like brooding, like just like country strong guy. But so does Kyle Schwarber, and Kyle Schwarber's on that team, you know. But he also hit 20 more home runs than. It is crazy that Alonso hit 38 home runs and Schwarber hit 18 more than him. Mm-hmm. Like, that's nuts to me. Today's show brought to you by the latest edition of Press Box, which is available now. On the cover, Dave Ginsburg looks at Cal Ripken Jr.'s new life at 65, including his role with the Orioles ownership group. And also inside, we learn more about new Ravens coach Jesse Minter and meet college lacrosse players from across the area's programs. You can find a new issue for free all throughout the region, including at all Baltimore area High's dairy stores, or you can read the entire issue at PressBoxOnline.com. Coby Mayo tearing the cover off the ball, and I think he has one strikeout in 26 at bats this spring.
Yeah.
You have been talking about how he used to start his hands high, drop them, and then raise them again before, like while a pitch is being thrown, and that's a recipe for disaster at the big league level. Apparently, what he's done is he's adjusted his hands. He's also putting more weight on his back foot to stay back on the ball longer, and he's also apparently getting more aggressive earlier in the counts because when he was in the minor leagues, he liked to take more pitches and wait for his pitch. In the big leagues, he finds himself behind in the count 0-1, 0-2 before he knows it, and then that's when he's struggling. Looks like a completely different hitter to me. The defense is suspect at best. We agree that Westburg, when he comes back, is likely he's going to be playing third base if he can play third base. But what if he comes back and Mayo is hitting 290 with 8 home runs by the time Westburg gets back? And then Holiday's back, and what if he's hitting about the same, maybe not as much power, but Holiday's playing a solid second base? What do you do? Because you have too many DH types in this that you need to get in the lineup anyway. And how do you justify not playing? Let's take Jackson out of the equation. How do you justify not playing Coby Mayo if he's tearing the cover off the baseball?
I don't think you do. I think you let him keep rolling.
So then what do you do with Westburg?
Don't know.
Do you put him in a platoon?
I think his job's gone.
Okay.
If Coby Mayo is doing that well, I think his job's gone.
Okay.
If not, if Coby's really, really struggling, I think you're waiting for Westburg to come back at that point. But I don't see how you can move in the future while relying on Jordan Westburg anymore.
And it's so funny.
And yes, they've all been freak injuries, but dude, you've got a label now. And you've got a team that really, really freaking relies on you, and you're not there enough. It's one thing if you were missing 10 games here, 10 games here, 10. No, you're missing 20, 30, 40, 50 games a pop. And it's only been since 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we talked about it before. He's missed 44% of his games in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I can't rely on you. I just can't. If you want to come off the bench and provide a right-handed spark for me somehow, I'm okay with that. You better learn left field. But I'm not throwing you out there as a starter if Coby Mayo's hitting that good. Mm-hmm. Now, if he's hitting 240, 250, I don't think it's really a conversation. But
I agree with that. I agree with that. But let's say he's hitting 270 with 5 home runs, and Westburg's ready to come back second week of May.
If the defense isn't pathetic, I think you keep rolling with Coby Mayo.
Because I also don't think that you're doing anything with Jackson Holliday.
Yeah.
Now, maybe Westburg comes back and he plays a little bit of third base, but mostly plays second base against left-handed pitching. But do you really want to do that with Holliday? Do you want to put Holliday in a position where now he is just he only plays against righties? Is that what you're doing with Holliday? And again, that's why earlier this year the roster makes sense now because Mountcastle got hit by a pitch and he hasn't played since, and Westburg's out and Holliday's out, and so now you need these guys, and these things kind of solve themselves. But at some point, it's going to come to a head because these guys are going to come back, and then what do you do? It's funny that it's March 15th, opening day is 11 days away, and we still really don't know. We really don't know. And
not
then
even close either.
there's been nothing to all the questions we had. Who's in your bullpen? Who's playing? How are you going to get playing time for Mayo, Mountcastle, all these guys at the same time? It hasn't it solved itself for the interim, but for the long term, for the full season, we have no clue. Nothing's clearer now than it was 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. It's so strange to me. You have 11 days until opening day, and we don't know who's in your bullpen. We don't know what's going to happen when Westburg comes back. We don't know what you're going to do with Mountcastle when he comes back. And Tyler O'Neill, is Tyler O'Neill even tradable at the deadline if he's having a good year?
Yeah, for sure.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And you might not even have to eat some money because it's only $16.9 million. And
right.
if he's hitting like Tyler O'Neill does when he's healthy,
would only owe 8?
Yeah. and then somebody will take on the rest of his contract
To
for
what,
this year.
2023-ish? Or was it, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if
23.75 probably would it be for a year and a half. I think somebody would take that on.
yeah,
Somebody like the Royals.
That's true. But that's the thing. It's because you're thinking about the fact that he wasn't tradable this offseason because of how bad he was last year, how little he played. But if he's playing well this year, and what constitutes well? If Tyler O'Neill's hitting 250 with 15 home runs at the deadline, are you offloading him?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know. You
like,
need good players. You know what I mean?
and then you think about Beavers. What does Beavers have to do? Beavers could be a guy who could hit first, second for you, he could hit ninth for you, or he could be a guy that ends up back in Norfolk somehow. Like,
1,000%.
Like, man, I do not envy Mike Elias's job. I'm not trying to take anything off of him, but like they've got a lot of guys in this roster where you're not quite sure what's going to happen moving forward. But it's a I guess it is a good problem to have though. You have too many good players for too few positions. But
100%.
you think Taylor Ward, if he has a good year, is back with his ball club next year? You think he's a one and done in Baltimore regardless?
I think if he has a good season, I don't see why they wouldn't bring him back.
Yeah,
it's hard to find veteran right-handed power bats. Why not?
Yeah.
Depends if he gets a large multi-year deal, though.
That's a good question. How much does a guy like him command on the open market? Because
depends on how many home runs he hits.
He hit 36 home runs.
Everybody this offseason they were all looking for right-handed power outfield. I mean, he hits the open market. He can, I think, easily top Tyler O'Neill's deal, 16.
Yeah.
2 years, 16. Maybe even 3 years, 16. You probably get him 3 years, 18 million. Somebody that really needs a right-handed power bat. I mean, why not?
75 walks last year, 175 strikeouts.
Yeah, but he's a grinder too.
He walked a lot. He plays 150 plus games. He's going to leave something to be desired in the outfield.
And
but
he's been doing this in LA where like no one pays attention. There's really not that many good ball players on the roster at all because Trout only plays like 20% of the games a year. Like he literally was doing it all by himself out there.
Yeah, and from the leadoff spot.
Huge year.
He could. And the thing about him is 227 with a 317 OBP last year. Like, I know batting average doesn't matter so much anymore, but I still want to see a guy that hits better than 227. And I think that on a team like this where there's power up and down the lineup, power up and down the lineup, talent up and down the lineup, I really think that he is going to have a better year. I just don't know what that looks like. There was a point where I saw that he had 6 hits, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts, 3 doubles as part of his 6 hits this year or this spring. So he's kind of showing you
that.
What?
It looked like a double play, and they botched it completely. Everybody's safe.
Oh, that's Pujols wearing glasses. Holy crap. I didn't recognize him at first.
Oh, they called one guy out. Okay.
So let's see. Gunner's got it. Oh, Terang. They're saying it was on the transfer? Yeah, it was on the transfer. Definitely on the transfer.
Don't hold the ball, son.
Terang's made the only errors I've seen. And that's not going to... That doesn't go down as an error because you can't assume the double play. But it's an error because that should have been a double play, especially with the guy who was running. But Japan was knocked out. Was Japan knocked out by Korea?
Venezuela?
Was it Venezuela?
It was yesterday, right?
Yeah, who did they lose to yesterday? I know they were knocked out, which is very surprising to me. But is it safe to say that the winner of this game tonight is probably your champion?
Yep.
Is it the winner of this game tonight is probably your champion, right?
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. All right. We wanted to get to more comments. The last time we were on here together, we said we wanted to get to more comments. Can we please get rid of the Seven Nation Army chant? A lot of people think that that's Baltimore's. That's not Baltimore's. Every team does that. I don't know if people know that.
Every team did it after Baltimore, though.
You think so?
Yeah. The Ravens have been doing that for years.
But I remember in Madden in like 2013, it was a chant in like the Seahawks stadium. And you know how like they have each stadium has like their own chants that are like true to life. It
Yeah.
was maybe, but maybe it did come after Baltimore. I mean, we've been doing that chant since 2012, 2011, something like that.
It's been a while. I mean, it was
Yeah.
before the Super Bowl in 2012, I believe.
Yeah, I feel like that was probably the first year that
Was
they
it?
did it. I could be wrong, but that was the year it definitely took off. And then I remember when you could hear that and the "We Won't Stop" chant after the Delvin double from like down the street.
Yeah.
That was cool. Let's see. A lot of people don't like a lot of people in the comments don't like don't like Mark DeRosa. It was DeRosa was on my short list of people I wanted to replace Brandon Hyde even during the year last year. Um, I mean, DeRosa was on a lot of people's list, and the thing about DeRosa, it was just like I don't know how much of it we saw with our own eyes and we thought was going to make him a good manager. How much of it was really just like, nah, everybody else says he's going to be a good manager, so I think he's going to be a good manager.
Yeah.
We're kind of winding down here. It's hard because there's not much to talk about. Like I think we can both agree that this is the time of spring training where it's like, all right, these games are boring. There's not much to watch here. Let's just kind of get on with the season, and you just kind of feel like you're going through the motions at that point. And like with the World Baseball Classic distracting us, just want to remind everybody that today's show is brought to you by Live Casino. It's time to start thinking about your plans for March Mania. There's no better place to watch the tournament than inside Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel. With great giveaways, a 100-foot media wall, and incredible food and drink specials. Yeah, I just read that wrong. With great giveaways, a 100-foot media wall, and incredible food and drink specials. So book your table today at Live and Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel. Wow, I butchered that read. Also feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit. Also, today's show brought to you by Leading Edge Auto Body. Your car is more than just a ride, it's an investment. Leading Edge Auto Body, the amount watching the customer satisfaction comes first. Their team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. And they make it easy for free towing, pickup, and delivery. Find out more at leadingedgeautobody.com. It's kind of funny to think that like next week's show is our last show before opening day. Ooh, Julio Rodriguez just took one to the wrist.
Yep.
Did he stay in the game?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
He ain't looking too good. Yeah, it looks like, well, at least on my screen, he's on the game.
I mean, 58 pitches with 2 outs in the
How about
fourth.
Austin Wells? I feel more Dominican every day.
Did he actually say that?
Yeah.
That's so. It wasn't like his like 7th great grandparent removed was Dominican, and that's how he got to be on that team. It's so funny, man, because that like that Alex Wells, if he had been asked by Team USA, he'd be playing for Team USA.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Lorenzen, if he had been asked by Team USA, he'd be playing for Team. Like all these guys are playing for these other countries because like they can and they want to play in this. To me,
they just want to play.
To me, right there, that just shows that like it's a bigger deal than people think. But like, I don't know.
Well, Holiday's got asked by Italy too. Both of them.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, so did Alonso. They were trying to get anybody.
Wow.
Yeah. They were taking it extremely serious.
Well, I mean, and it shows. I mean, they're in it right now. Like they play tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. Their game is tomorrow, and if they win that, they go to. Well, Skeens got out of it. He got a fly out by Alex Wells to left field to end the inning. He's probably done. I don't know. They have a different pitch limit in the knockout stage, but I imagine that he's done. So U.S. is going to depend on the bullpen, and their offense has to score more runs. 2 runs from this lineup is ridiculous.
Yep.
But
it's like Orioles watching the Orioles game.
Were you at all concerned? I said something earlier this week because I noticed it last week that they had scored 62 runs in 16 games, and then the next day they lost 8-2, and they had scored 34 runs in 17 games, or 64 runs in 17 games. Were you at all concerned at any point about the offense? And I know it's only spring training, but like it just felt like the offense hasn't really hit its stride at any point yet. It feels like they're starting to now. But
if the same coaches were there, I'd be very concerned. But like they're brand new across the board everywhere, and I think that they've probably have spent significant time in the film room, like breaking down everybody and working on very small things at a time, to where like no one is comfortable right now because they're all working on something to get better. Because even look at Pete. I mean, Pete started like a bat out of hell, and then it was like 3 for 24. Like, it might look bad, but Pete is, even though he's good every year, he's still working on trying to get better. And they've identified something to help him get better, and he's working on it. Like, so that's what I'm hoping, that everybody's just zoned in on one thing right now. Like, I'm only looking for a fastball in the outer corner because I need to keep my hands in. Like, just something small, just to keep working on every day, hopefully. So,
well, I got
like a 3 maybe.
I got a lot of crap for saying that, and I was just pointing it out because it's like this offense is expected to be one of the best in baseball, and then they were averaging under 4 runs a game through midway through spring training, and I understand it was like the same thing where Corbin Burns a couple of years ago was getting his teeth kicked in every start, and then his last 2 starts in spring he looked like Corbin Burns, you know. And it's not so much that I was concerned, but I thought that it was noteworthy. I thought it was worth pointing out, like, hey, they're not scoring any runs right now. And I get that they haven't fielded the representative lineup, but I don't, like, if they were scoring 8 runs a game, I think that people would be talking about it. You know, so why would it be the reverse? Why shouldn't the reverse be true? Yeah. But it seems. I just saw a couple of comments here. Trade Holiday for Hunter Green. Reds might do it since he's out until July. I don't think that the Orioles are trading Jackson Holiday for anybody that's out till July, and I don't see any reason why the Reds would trade a young, controllable pitcher like Hunter Green, even if he is out till July, when they have a big window that just opened last year with that young, controllable roster. Beavers is Tucker 2.0 as long as they don't screw up his at-bats. That's a
tough thing to be.
That's a bold claim.
He swings like him, but I mean, to actually pull it off is tough.
I mean, that you're talking. He's going to have to hit about 290 with 30 homers, 100 RBI, and 30 steals. That's what he has. Yeah. That's what he's going to have to do to be. I don't know that he's that guy.
You don't want him to be either because you want him to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's true. What's your percentage that Westburg gets an extension?
12.
I'm going to say 8. No, you know what? Honestly, Oh! I don't want to, like...
I can see it.
Rodriguez
Somebody
just
already put it in the chat, too.
Oh, Rodriguez just robbed Judge.
Yeah.
That was a good play. I don't know that ball was going out, but it might have been. Man,
Judge
nobody...
got hit the weight room a little bit.
I know, right? Nobody feels himself after a great catch quite like Julio Rodriguez. I think that wrist is fine. Let's check this play out again and see if it was... Because he caught it at the top of the wall on the leap. Was it going out? I think it may have been going out. Yeah. No, I think I was gonna hit the top of the wall.
Oh, really?
Still a great play. Ooh, Shore was trying to hit that one 500 feet. Yeah, I think I was gonna hit the top of the wall.
Is this Esteban Milla?
Is it? Man. When people tip their cap to dudes that rob them, I'm like, you're not actually tipping your cap.
That's
not
Esteban Milla, is it? No, it can't be.
It's Mejia. I don't know if that's Esteban Mejia. There could be another Mejia.
No, it's a J. Juan Mejia.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if they're related.
They might be. But maybe Mejia in that country is
I've seen
like
more
Smith
Mejias lately.
Yeah. Or maybe they just all play baseball. But
yeah.
To the question, what's your percentage that Westburg gets an extension? I think that if Westburg comes back and he plays, and he's healthy, and he hits 270 with 20 plus home runs, I think that he has a better chance of getting extended than anybody else on the team. So I'm gonna put it at 37%. 37% for right now, because I think that it's a big question mark. Can he come back and stay healthy? Because he hasn't proven that he can to this point. Yeah. But if he does and he plays like we know he can, and if Westburg plays the last 5 months of the season, he's gonna push 25 home runs. I think that he could get an extension. is a base hit for sure. All right, we're gonna stay on the air for Gunner's next at bat, which is coming up right now on my TV, and then I'm gonna let Zach get back to his family. Oh
Go
man,
to bed. It's been a long week.
yeah. I got so much work to do tomorrow. I should have done it this weekend, and I just didn't feel like it. So I have so much work to do, like early. Oh no, Pujols is making a pitching change, so we're gonna get out of here on the bat around today. I did get to call one Gunnar home run live, and that was awesome for me. Boris will not allow Westburg. Man, AJ, I love you, man, but you don't know how to spell anybody's name. Boris will not allow Westburg to sign an extension. I mean, it's a fallacy that Boris clients have never signed an extension. They have, not all of them, but a lot of Boris clients have signed extensions. And Westburg, to this point, hasn't been that one guy who's like, I'm going to wait till free agency, because he hasn't posted up yet in a big league season. So, anything you want to add, Zach, before we get out of here?
I don't think so.
All right. Next week, we're going to do our season preview and our Orioles preview, as it's our last show before opening day. So you don't want to miss any show, but you don't want to miss that show either. Until next week, thank you to all of our sponsors. Without you, we don't have a show. Thank you to all of our loyal viewers, listeners, friends. Without you, we 100% do not have a show. Until next week,